How's it going, everybody? My name is RndmBlkGuy, and today on Tech Taylor we're going to be going over the K053 Lavalier USB condenser microphone by Fifine Technologies and see if this may be a perfect fit for you. I had been contacted by a representative for Fifine Technologies and they wanted to send this mic out to me because after watching my other videos they liked the way that I go into deep about the different audio products, which you can look up here about the Smith Victor microphone. But the real reason why I was kind of excited to do this is because that same representative said this microphone is going to be better than your Smith Victor and it's going to blow it out of the way. And for the price that this guy costs and everything, I am willing to put that to the test. So I will be comparing this to my daily audio recorder, the Smith Victor, that I use for these videos. But before we get into that, here's a few things about the Fifine and why it will fit you. So the K053 is a unidirectional microphone, means that it gets all the volume that's pretty much going up from the top, making sure that everything on the bottom is isolated and doesn't make it on the microphone. It comes with its own sound card, so you don't have to download any programs or anything like that. You plug that sucker in, the sucker does it all the way. Plug and play, basically. So it works really good on the go and at home without any real need stress. However, I will say probably go into the recording settings and turn up the volume and make sure your recording is about 100, because some applications will try to dim this poor guy. The Fifine microphone is very clear. It does pretty good on isolation, and it does it good enough to where even if it did pick up some stuff, I can try and edit that out in a simple program like Audacity and use the noise reduction to completely kill out that extra noise. It is a 6-foot cord, not really too bad, good enough to where you can walk around the computer, but not to where like you're really like you can't move at all while next to the computer. Of course, not long enough to where you can go to the restroom and still have the microphone attached. The microphone also is surprisingly big, has a surprisingly big head, more than other Lavalier microphones that I've actually used. And the clip is really strong. Like in some cases, like the clip before, like I couldn't even open it. You got to be in that good sweet spot. So this thing is going to just get stuck on you. It's not going to go around. The microphone also has input for the 3.5mm jack, so that way you can get your favorite headphones, plug them in, and you can hear the playback through it. This microphone also comes at a price of only $18, and that is insane. The sound quality that this guy does outweighs this price point, and I actually kind of happy to say that after using this for a few times. And a few times I mean like over 100 times of kind of every type of possible situation I can use it for. The microphone does pretty good for when you're trying to give out presentations, maybe it's in some meetings, as well as some people even try to use this for gaming, being able to isolate your voice and make it clear so that way you can talk to other people clear. Also, of course, for people who want to do podcasts or anybody who wants to record their voice on the go but have it clear and away from a lot of noise around you, this microphone actually delivers on that. However, we get to the point now is, does this microphone fit you? No matter if it's $18 or $1,800, if it provides no value to you whatsoever, it's essentially worthless. So let's go over a few points where I feel that the K053 will actually be a value for you. The number one reason why I want to say that this will be a great value for you if you do any podcast or you do anything that requires to single out your voice. It does a really good job with the unidirectional to capture your voice and your voice only, and it's really easy to use, and if you already have a low profile, it kind of works with it. So someone who may be, who does podcasts or any kind of memos whatsoever, it's almost ideal for those people. It's really kind of just built for you rather than for anything else. You can kind of give some conferences, you go give some presentation, you can talk to somebody one-on-one on it, but honestly this works perfectly for the podcaster. So I mean, that's going to be the number one reason. I feel like that point is going to outweigh the next few that I'm going to say. So, but I'm going to still say them anyway, so here's the next one. The second thing I like about this is its portability. The fact that everything is on here and you can plug it up to any computer, whether it's PC or Mac, makes this have a little bit more versatility when you're using it outside in the real world. Don't necessarily adjust it too much for when you're outside, even though it has a little styrofoam on it. However, if you are maybe like you're on a business trip or anything like that, like I was using it for, it is good to be able to have this plug it out and not having to deal with, especially the long cord. I think the cord size that is pretty perfect. I mean, the box that it comes with, I just use this as the carrying case because I just stuffed this guy in here, and I mean, the box works out pretty well. Like, I could put it in the smaller pouch, and honestly, I do wish it came in a smaller either pouch or exo kind of skeleton kind of deal. But the box itself is small enough to where I can throw it in a bag and it doesn't take up hardly any space. So portability, plus, it's a plus. The third reason, I should mention this regardless, even though I already mentioned it before, but as a good value point, or does have any point for you, that it's very inexpensive. It's in that price range to where you can take a bet on it and see if you like it or not, and it won't break if you do and you don't. It is very also inexpensive to be more considered an entry-level budget option for anybody who's trying to do any kind of thing with voice option. So you can be able to jump on this, test it and see if it works enough for you, and or just use it for a backup. $18 is a pretty good price point to play around with something without the need of feeling like you made a hard-earned investment on. I do like it that I can tell somebody to come pick this up and it's only gonna cost them $18, and I just like that. It's products that work good that don't cost people arm and a leg are my favorite products. The fourth reason is if you want a unidirectional microphone. It depends on what kind of person you are. If you do like the benefits of omnidirectional versus unidirectional, but if you are looking for unidirectional and you need to try and filter out all the options, especially because there's a lot of options around the same price range and you need to filter a lot of them out, this one is a unidirectional. It works out really well. It does a pretty good job of the isolation, and I think you'll really like it. USB lavalier microphone, condenser computer mic, plug and play USB microphone with sound card for PC and Mac, K053. USB lavalier microphone, condenser computer mic, plug and play USB microphone with sound card for PC and Mac, K053. And the last point I do want to say is this microphone allows you to isolate your voice and be able to work with it. Since you have the sound card and everything in here, it's already working hard to try to give you better clarity and also a little bit more plug and play attitude. But being able to single out your vocals to be able to enhance them or to even mess with them with other programs is pretty ideal. And it kind of gets you into that workload of being able to hear your vocals as clear as possible and still even make it better. So if the recording wasn't too loud or anything, or if there was a lot of problems going on, since you are allowed to record and set that up in another program, there is a lot you can play with. Now I have the fifth reason, because you can do this with other microphones and stuff, but if you already doing like audio recording with something and the audio is tied to video, it does take a bit to kind of rip the audio away just to kind of isolate it and fix it, depending on who you are. Some people can't or don't have the programs where that could be done really easily, or that could be done within the program. So it's nice to kind of have something that works for you in that aspect. So now we get to the point where we are comparing the Fifine K053 with my Smith Victor that I have already. So in other words, does the new microphone fit me, and can I use it more than I will use my current daily driver? And the weird thing is, when it comes to using the microphone and everything else, it kind of runs into that it depends kind of bubble. For using it with my camera and everything, of course I can't do that since my camera doesn't take a USB type A port in order for this to be very useful. Plus my camera is normally a little bit further, so the 6 foot would be probably a little bit too short in some aspects. It works really good if I wanted to isolate my voice from the overall projection, and if I wanted to be able to focus on cleaning up my audio more rather than just having my auto work with the footage that I'm taking as of right now, then the other mic would actually fit better. However, for me personally, and for what I have now on my person, the K053 doesn't give me enough of a reason to replace my current Smith's Victor. My current Smith's Victor works really good with the camera that I have now. It works really good for smartphones in case I have to go back to the S8 for any reason. The microphone is very clear. I do like the omnidirectional, and just in case anything is blocking the microphone for effectively hearing me, it takes in all of the vocal action in this bubble of spectrum, meaning that it has a better chance of actually capturing me and kind of losing the isolation that the unidirectional microphone would have. Now the K053 will work really good if I was solely working on stuff and on the computer and everything else. And if I ever did have time to be able to work on my audio a little bit better before adding it or remapping it to the video, I'll probably get into that. But since my schedule outside of doing YouTube videos is very strenuous, and the reason why I'm doing one video a week rather than more, it's hard for me to be able to add this to my pipeline when I feel that even though the price to quality ratio for the Fifine is actually higher than the Smith's Victor, the difference of quality isn't big enough to want me to switch over to get that extra benefit. The Fifine is a really good microphone, but it's not so good to where my Smith's Victor is kind of knocked out of the running. And with that, the Smith's Victor is still going to be my daily driver when it comes to doing YouTube videos in the future. With that being said, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did like it, hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, if you want to see any other tech that I will be doing in the future that you might want to see if it's a great value for you, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified. I don't have any merch or anything that I'm selling right now, so you don't have to worry about that. Just come back and watch more videos. With that being said, hopefully everything that you saw today will help you make a better and a more informed decision tomorrow.